For my ethnographic dig of Dinkytown, I decided to focus on Cummings Books, one of the many independent used bookstores in the Dinkytown area. I chose to focus on this area mostly because I used to work there, but also because I find that independent bookstores provide an interesting insight into a community. In terms of Cummings Books history, the bookstore has been in Dinkytown for 11 years, yet the owner, Jim Cummings, has been in Dinkytown for much longer than that. Growing up, he used to work at the Book House, another independent used bookstore in the Dinkytown. When you walk into Cummings Books, you notice right away you are not in Barnes & Noble. You are greeted by animals, fish, cats, birds, dogs, all ready to help you find a book. When I asked Jim to describe the feel of his place, he says he wants it to be an extension of his home, with all his personal preferences, his critters, his pictures, plants, and his favorite music. Jim's preferences are also seen in the books he buys. He says that they may not be the most popular sellers, but he likes to fill his shelves with books that also reflect his tastes and his interests. My visits with Jim often move into the realm of business. Jim tells me that now 1/3 of his sales are from online buyers, while 2/3 are still from foot traffic. This is a change from when I worked at Cummings back in 1999, when no books were sold online. In fact, Jim says if it weren't for the internet, where he sells books online, he would no longer be in business. Rent is just too expensive. Jim describes the internet's capacity to expand his market. Books that otherwise would have maybe had only a few lookers will now sell for $100 or more on the internet. When asked to describe how being in Dinkytown helps his business, he says that Dinkytown creates a false economy in the sense that because there are students, professors, and people moving in and out, that there is an increase in inflated demand and also an inflated source of used books coming in. While talking about the neighborhood of Dinkytown, Jim tells me about one of Dinkytown's legendary booksellers, Melvin McCosh. Back in the 1950s, McCosh used to have a bookstore in what is now the Hollywood Video parking lot. After having to move from that space, he moved to what is now known as Potbelly's. Jim describes McCosh as a cultivated eccentric, always dressed in a leather jacket with pilot goggles. Jim's tale about Melvin McCosh reveals that while the names and faces of Dinkytown do change, this community for the most part still supports a tradition of used bookstores.